Check out Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer, or Dahmer, also known as Milwaukee Cannibal, was an American serial killer and sex offender who committed the rape, murder, and dismemberment of 17 men and boys. Many of his later murders involved necrophilia, cannibalism, and the permanent...
Jesse.
Oh, fuck, dude.
We have to cook.
Preservation of body parts. Although diagnosed with borderline personality disorders, schizotypal personality disorder, and psychotic disorder, Dahmer was found to be legally sane at his trial. What? Wait. I don't understand one thing here. How can someone who murders and fucks dead corpses and eats them be considered sane, legally sane? I mean, even for NA, this is really, really fucked up. You don't even have to run tests on such a person that does this, because sane, like the term sane, it shouldn't be a written down term and definition.
I know what you mean.
I mean, it was still sane to fucking torture people at one point, you know, like really torture people.
Big Daddy.
But I cannot imagine that today in 2000 or 1990, whatever this case happened, that can be considered sane. It actually blows my mind. I guess
I have to do something.
The only thing that I can imagine why he was diagnosed sane is because it was so fucking fucked up that the justice system didn't want him to get reduced punishment, where they said this guy is legally sane, let's give him the fucking death sentence or something, because if you are insane they just try to treat you, right? And you get special treatment and shit. Legal sanity refers to being capable about knowing what you're doing. People who are declared legally insane can't really be tried for crimes. Legally insane. Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, I don't think...
What?
How is that the definition? I would say the definition is not understanding that what you're doing is wrong. Everyone understands what they're doing. If you are actually just like fucking taking a baseball bat and just smashing people in the face in the street, you know what you're doing, regardless of whether or not you're insane. But if you know what you're doing is wrong, you know, if you don't understand why you're doing it, like if you don't understand that what you're doing is wrong, then you are insane.
You might know.
It's not like people have, I guess there are some cases, but it's not usual that people have like they're sleepwalking, you know, they're sleepwalking and killing people. I think that was a movie, but I'm not sure if it was based on a true thing. What if he was hallucinating? Yeah, if you take drugs and you hallucinate people as, I don't know, fucking bears trying to kill you, you know, and you shoot at them, then you're actually accountable for your actions, because at least in Europe, I'm not even sure about US anymore, but if you're under the influence of drugs or alcohol, you're still accountable. But I feel like someone who's insane, they do something fucked up, and they don't really understand that it's a fucked up thing to do, because to them it makes sense. Like, why can't I catch this rabbit, cut it open and lick the insides? I want to do it, you know? Why is society telling me that this is wrong, you know? But it's fucked up for most of society. It's a fucked up thing to do. Like, you're out of your fucking mind, right? Because it's not the norm. You don't behave like that. And even today, you know, in this very year, 2017, like, there's still not a global norm for sanity. Like, even that, You know, it doesn't even have to be hundreds of years apart, you know, in society. It just has to be another fucking culture. The fucking Middle East, you know, has a completely different culture where, like, fucking stoning people is considered sane, but it would never be considered sane anywhere else. I'm just saying that, you know, the term sane should not be a written down definition, in my opinion, because it changes fucking every 20 years, you know. Imagine like 20 years ago when people downloaded movies for free, for example. No one considered it stealing, right? No one considered it stealing. But maybe in 20 years, if you download a movie, it's the same thing as shoplifting, you know. It's like people really fucking look down on you, like really look down on you. But no one looks down on you for doing it now. I'm just saying that it changes so often, like what is considered to be fine and not fine, sane and not sane and insane. I'm not saying I'm all-knowing or anything. I'm just giving you a logical perspective, you know, of the fact that I don't think you should be able to consider someone who murders, rapes, and eats boys, you know, as legally sane because he knew what he was doing. You know, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous in every aspect. Debate destiny. Destiny is one of those people who just debates, like, I forgot the English word for it. One of those people who I forgot the English word for it, but it's whenever you take the unpopular side of debate. Contrarian. Thank you, dude. Yeah, but Destiny just like I'm kind of like Destiny in that way, that I like to be the contrarian, but only if I actually like truly agree, you know. But sometimes I feel like Destiny picks that side, even if he believes the other side is more right, just so that he can argue, you know.
Mommy has
Destiny is okay with incest. Wait, what? I mean, again, incest is one of those topics, right? Where a lot of years ago, like fucking centuries and centuries, incest was totally fine, you know. It was even considered, you know, immoral at one point, you know, to not have incest, like the royal family, you know, like to mix their bloodline. It's just like today incest is fucked up. If you fuck your daughter, you're a psychopath. But back then, okay, it wasn't really fuck your daughter, but it was like fuck your cousin. You know, if you don't fuck your cousin, you're committing a crime against the family, airline, you know. Why is incest wrong? Incest is wrong because mainly, you know what? Mainly because it creates a defect offspring. That's mainly the reason that it's considered wrong. I mean, it's scientifically proven that, you know, genetic diversity, which is the opposite of incest, right? It creates I don't want to say superior because it triggers people, but superior offspring. Yeah, I haven't studied psychology or anything, but I'm just... Is that a dead body? I'm just speaking logically, as I always do. Usually, if you have an IQ of 140, it doesn't matter really. If you studied something, you can just see the bigger picture, you know. But in the case of genetic diversity,
my name is Suka.
It doesn't.
I've seen some gameplay.
Maybe incest does not foster genetic diversity, but it doesn't make it wrong. It doesn't foster genetic diversity, which is totally fine. Having sex with a random woman, you know, and getting a child, you know, that you don't know, does not foster genetic diversity as well. But the thing with incest is that it actually does the opposite end of the spectrum, you know, where it fosters genetic indiversity, right? In that, which is wrong in a moral standpoint of today's society.
I saw a tip.
Where I have this thought process sometimes, and I know it's like it's weird, but I feel like nothing is anyone's fault. If someone kills my sister, and fucking rapes her and eats her corpse. Like, I have this feeling that it's not his fault. It comes down to thinking a lot about it, about philosophy and psychology, and when you realize that what you are, everything that you are, is just genetic code and circumstances out of your control, it makes it hard for me sometimes to blame people for anything, and on the opposite side of the spectrum, admire people for anything they've ever done. I agree with your idea, but you suck at explaining. I've been drinking.
It's part of my genetic coding, so there is nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, like honestly, like I find it obviously his parent, but you say that obviously I'm gonna blame his parent, you know. But what's really different? Whatever surroundings they had growing up, whatever social aspects that made them this way, you know, I don't know, their parents beating them or whatever, you know, like made them this way. How can you even blame their parents, you know? You say you can't blame this child for killing your sister, but you can blame their parents. This is where most people are wrong, because the parents are not to blame either, you know? And I think nothing bad in the world is anyone's fault. But then I think, why are people thinking this way? Why do I want to feel like it's their fault? Because it's in human nature, you know? And then I can't blame myself. I think that, like, but why do I feel... I feel that some way that you can't blame anyone, but sometimes I feel like I want to blame this person, you know? And that's just in human nature to want to blame, and I can't blame myself for wanting to blame other people even though I know I can't blame them. I know this is super confusing if you have an IQ under like 130, but
what the fuck is happening?
Just one of those things, you know? You can never really blame anyone for anything. You can admire people for being successful when everything was just genetically and, you know, environmentally lucky, so to speak. I'm just pretending to be retarded sometimes.
What is your view on the trolley dilemma? It's the most famous ethics exercise. 5 people are tied to the train track while the train is on its way to run them over. You can stop the train by pushing an innocent fat man over the tracks. Do you do it?
I only do it if it's random people, right?
Yes,
I would push him over for the sole reason that it's considered morally right now. Like it's considered, more people would do it. More people would push the fat man, and therefore it's considered more morally right, you know. So I would do it, you know, because that's how society sees it. But to me, it doesn't really matter. But back to my example. I was saying that why do I knowing all this, why do I blame people for stream sniping me, you know? Why do I, when I know it's not like anyone's fault for anything but genetic code and RNG basically, you know? And I just come to the conclusion that the fact that I'm blaming people is also part of that genetic code and RNG. That my genetic code makes me feel hatred towards this person, and I can't blame myself for that either, because that's just the way it is. So I shouldn't feel guilty, even though I know that no one is to blame. I can't blame myself for blaming people.
If
that
you
makes
could
sense.
create a virus.
Maybe I should debate Destiny. I wonder what I would debate him though. Obviously I wouldn't be drunk, but even when sober, I would have a hard time debating Destiny because of the language barrier. I mean, I have no problem. I have no problem communicating at a fairly like average level or whatever you want to call it. But whenever you debate someone,
If you could
the
instantly
more formal
teleport to
the more
a
formal
faraway
terms you
planet
use,
and back,
the
you
smarter
would be
you
seeing.
sound, right? The more people believe that you are correct in what you're saying, right? It's kind of normal to think that if you use more formal words, you sound smarter, right? You sound more convincing. So I mean, I guess Destiny would have an edge there, but I don't think I would lose to him if we were on the same level. And also, you know, whenever he tries to make or get a point across, right? He talks like really fast, right? He talks really fast. And the fact that he's talking really fast is also one of those rhetorical tricks. Defend G2A in your debate with Destiny. I could debate Destiny on that. You know, he's gonna take this moral high ground where like, don't you know that GTA has been doing this to developers, you know? And I could crush him if I wanted to, you know? Not a lot of you people know Destiny for a long time. I've known him forever. You don't know the shit that he's done before, you know? Like, I could really crush him in that regards if I had to duel him. Like, he's done it before. He's done it before where he looks at an odd shot of me and is like, now we're gonna take advice from a guy who's sponsored by G2A, nice moral, and a giggle. But this guy...
You can do this.
This guy... He was spreading fucking nudes back in the day. He got kicked off his team in StarCraft because he was fucking spreading nudes of this fangirl that he was talking shit about her to his Skype StarCraft artists. And I don't know, if you want to take the moral high ground, at least have an accurate history in being morally superior to others, but you haven't. So I don't know what the fuck this kid is on about. Because I would never fucking spread nudes of a girl and trash talk her to my friends. And then of course people leaked it in the Skype conversation. And then it's like, this guy is sponsored by G2A. What a immoral faggot. Wait, dude, like none of you guys knew about this? Are you really that new fag chat? None of you guys knew about this shit? This was back in StarCraft 2. This was like 6 years ago or something. So I would never lose a moral debate versus this guy, ever. Regardless of any other drama he was involved with. He would never decline. Never in a billion years would he decline a really good offer from GTA, which most top streamers got back in the day. Ask him. Ask him if he would accept, I'm not gonna say a specific number, but over 10k a month. Ask him if he would decline that. And if he's saying no, he's lying. He's just in the same boat as Caseytron, where they're pissed off that their offer is not good enough. I mean, the classic one is when you don't have a counter argument.
What in the fuck is happening?
Oh my god, I did this again. Either you call out the country / nationality, or you use a mom joke, or you call the other person a basement dweller. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think Destiny is a smart guy. I think he's far above average, but I mean, if he wants to throw shit my way,
we have to cook.
He better be prepared for the far above average intelligent response. But to be fair, he's debating imbeciles most often than not. Like he's debating like Kokona incarnate. It's not really a discussion or debate in that case. Making drama? I'm not making drama. I never started any fucking drama. I mean, I knew about what Destiny said way before this stream. Just so happened that I was drunk right now and I happened to bring it up. But I never intentionally bring up any drama. Because I don't want to be part of this fucking... I mean, I used to be, but I don't want to be part of it anymore. This fucking NA drama. Circle jerk.
Forsen boys, Forsen boys. Forsen boys, Forsen boys.